Hey there, beautiful family of light. I was just, about to record this video when a mailman rang, the doorbell rang. I ran downstairs and guess what I got? Another surprise. Another beautiful package from my light brother from England. And I'm so happy because this just keeps happening to me. So many already tell me, oh, make a donation page, do that. You're going to get lots of contributions and I want to donate to your page as well. You do so much. And I already received a webcam from my special friend in the United States. And then my friend sends me his book. Oh, thank you so much, beloved Ralph. I promise I'll try to find time to read it. If not sooner than during my summer days, probably, hopefully somewhere at the beach, but who knows. So thank you so much. This means a lot to me. What I wanted to speak about today, aside from all this joy of all of us connecting around the world, because this is so important right now. This is also part of what I'm going to be talking about. And I'm going to be talking about moving out of 3D, going beyond all of what we have learned and knew that was familiar to us in the 3D paradigm, right? So the thing is, first of all, I would like to say that I was reading a beautiful article on Solstice Rising from Kara. She writes wonderful ascension notes, and I always read them. They're always so fabulous to read and very much aligned with the energies and what we're going through as ascension pioneers. And remember, like Kara always says, and I do agree, even ascension is just a word. So do connect more on the energy that all of us who are here as guides are trying to convey, more than just the words that we speak. So anyway, this is the first aspect, so to say, moving out of 3D, not being attached to the words and the meaning of words as such, but about the vibration that is behind not just words and every single thing that someone says or their actions, the images, photo readings, things as that, because our discernment is growing. So we are more to be focused on the pure love that is behind everything. There's love in everything, even those who blame and judge us and who are still feeling resentment and victim consciousness. Even within that, there are seeds of love. So in moving beyond the 3D also means to see love in every single thing, because there is no opposite to love. It's just, as I said in one of my previous videos, it's just different manifestations of it here in the physical plane, but all comes from love divine, and we are that love divine. Okay, so second viewpoint that I would like to discuss is how in those times of the new, in the way of the new, we have to see and feel everything as a whole, as an integrated part of all that is. So for instance, when many people say, this is something they would like to address here, when they say, okay, everything is the mind, we're spiritual beings, so the physical is not important, the body is not important. There are certain religious cultures that say, oh, the body is not important, we're pure spirit. It's true, we are pure spirit, but we have to consider the fact that we did come here in this physical body for a reason, and that we have to ground whatever is our spiritual truth here in the physical. So we are to live our truths here in the physical, to be earthly gods, to merge heaven and earth. It's not just a concept. It is a fully organic thing, So the thing is, when many say, oh, I can do everything with my mind, I can focus on my third eye with my mind, focus on love. But then, they say nutrition is not important, how we, if we move our bodies around, oh, we're just pure spirit, we don't have to move in the physical. That's not true, because our bodies are our vessels. And I was speaking about this the entire year of making these videos. It is about the integration of all. And we are already spirit, but this spirit came here in the physical for a reason. First of all, it is important in order for moving beyond just the 3D to remember that reason, each and every one of us, to remember that reason why we are here, where we were before, because sometimes what we have lived before, because we have shifted so much, seems like an entire different manifestation of our being, like a different incarnation, so to say. We say, what was this me? was this me? Because we don't associate with our stories and our life sufferings, things that we have, might have gone through. We don't associate with that. So the things that we have been through in the past, so to say, seem like very unfamiliar to us, very random. We're very detached from it. And this is how it is within the new. We just see that as different portions of our being that is whole, complete, everything is integrated in that. Also the physical vessel. So it is important, So it's not just to say we're pure spirit, doesn't matter what we do, because we can never taint the spirit. The spirit is always pure. Yeah, but how we are living here on earth, do you see the earth and how everything is being played here and how everything is being manifested and revolving around all of us? Do you see everything is completely pure? Well, if you do, have your mind set up properly and your eyes, to see the reality, you will see that that's not the truth. You will see that not all is pure. That's what we have, all of those things, going around in our presence, in our daily lives. But to move beyond that, to move from 3D, to leave that 3D paradigm behind, means to not be attached to anything of that nature. And that is kind of like a sole purpose, a mission of those who are wayshores, who are going there, the first. And everything doesn't have to be just, first, second, third, but it's intertwining, it's interchanging. And there are always those who are energetically paving the way and guiding others. So the thing is, nothing is separate, This is another very important view of moving into the new, beyond the 3D. It means that you have to see everything, all the multidimensional aspects of you, all the facets of you, as important. So you might go through certain clearings and things as such. You might consider this approach that everything is important. So when you say, oh, my spirit is so strong, I can go through all the poisons, that we can have on this planet, and drugs and pharmaceutical lobbies and things as such, in our waters, the chemicals, in toothpaste. You all know probably about the fluoride in the toothpastes that are not organic, because what they put there, the fluoride that they put there, is not a healthy kind of fluoride. It's a fluoride that is left over from the heavy toxic industries, such as an automobile industry, And it's not just us being aware, because there's many people who say, oh, I know about this. I don't have to discuss this. I know about this. But the main thing right now is walking, grounding that truth of what we know. So if something is going around your environment, that's only an image, a mirror image of what is going on in the collective mindset, consciousness. So we can shift this forward if we detach from that. So for instance, if you're very critical and you see how everything is very much based in the consumer marketship, and you say, oh, everything is so much about buying things, about having things, but then at the same time you're buying things as well, you're just adding energy to that. So while we are being asked to very much move into the new, we're being asked to detach from the 3D. That means being very focused upon where we place our energy and when we don't want to place it. What is the way of the old and what is the way of the new? Because everything is shifting energetically, so we are the ones who have to do it. So don't buy those fluoride, toothpastes, and don't, buy the organic products. Go to the local organic market. Do invest in your body. Do want only best for your body. For instance, the water that you put in. This is the most important, because the water is basically what we're made of, what everything is made of. It's a crystal. So if you put toxic water inside your body, then it will be very dissonant with your being. And your being needs purification on all levels, because your body needs that. And there's a part of your being that is also in your body. The spirit is manifested in everything. Everything is holy and sacred, not just the spirit. Because the spirit created this form and this physical reality. So therefore it is holy and sacred. And we need to nurture it and take care of it. Okay, so what we can do is the things that we know that are not good for us, remove our energy from it. Invest in those things that we know that are healthy, organic, pure. For instance, you can also assist your body with certain remedies as such. For instance, Bach droppings, those flower essences that Bach created. You know, my mom just discovered these beautiful candies out there. They're organic, that they're selling. You know, you see Natur, Active, Bio Bonbons. This is in German. Yeah. And you have different kinds, and she bought all four. And one are for kids. You know, the kids probably, they can get a lot of hyper with new energies. You have one for stress. See, if you can read that. Then you have one for if you're tired and if you're exhausted and things as such. And these are, some would consider only things, you know, but everything here is in the physical, you know. We are still vibrating partly in this physical reality. So we can use those remedies. You know, someone might say, oh, it's all pure spirit, so I don't need that. Of course, we don't. But I'm just saying it's not bad if you do. But if you do use organic products, use the things that you know that are coming from pure produce and things as such. It is important because our bodies are so important right now. They have received so much energetic downloads. They have received so much shifting, so much new light codes that it is important that we support them. So it's also your mind, you know. If you're licking those candies, for instance, and you're thinking, oh, I'm putting something good, you know, I'm connecting with those essences. It might assist you because your thought is focused on that. And you're giving yourself more time to just do something, you know. If you eat something healthy, your mind is again being focused on what you do, and you do receive those blessed energies while you're consuming something that is good for your body, actually. So that's another thing, eating light foods, not throwing toxic things in our body, you know, because our bodies need purification on all levels, because we are made on all levels. Okay, this is another point of view that is very important. Another is our relationships. They're shifting. So if we want to detach from an old 3D way, if we want to leave the 3D material realm behind, we need to move beyond that emotional state, reactivity, us being attached to our relationships. Well, we need to leave it all behind. That doesn't mean we leave those people that, you know, all of them that we are intertwined with, but that we are not attached to not a single person. For me, that was always not such a difficult challenge to do, because I'm an independent spirit, and I was always like this. And I was never easily attached to someone. I do have that deep spiritual love for everyone, but I'm not attached to anyone. And this is all about connecting and, you know, connecting with like-minded individuals that are of the same vibration, and that increases our own vibration so much. And we are being further, you know, grounded in the way of the new through that. Because when we connect to those individuals who share consciousness, those are only loving and supportive energies coming through us. And if we, for instance, give our power and energy away to those that wish to drain us, you know, then we have set us up to, you know, something that is of lower frequency. And it's up for us to decide. But if we do want to leave the 3D way behind, we need to do that energetically. And of course, all energetic changes bring forth the physical changes as well. This is how it is, because all is connected, remember? And when we leave certain relationships that are not of the highest order, that are not pure. For instance, I'm talking about this a lot with some of my light family that are very close to me, the pure ones, and they always say that it's difficult for them to, now that the energies are so intense and the truth is being revealed so suddenly and they're becoming more and more discerning, it's difficult for them to exchange or give power away, you know, that energy away to those who are not pure. So they only want to react, they only want to reconnect with those that are pure. And this is how it is. You change vibrationally, so your actions also change, your tendencies do change. This is a very important thing, because our relationships are our biggest mirror. For instance, in my life, I have let people go, a lot of them. I was always more like a hermit, because I perceived that this part of my journey was a lot about preparation for what I am to do, what is my mission in the future, now and in the future. And it's true in a way, and this is why I always recognized when a certain person was bringing me a certain challenge, and when the energy needed to be exchanged, and when that was over, I knew that it was time to move beyond. And as Ascension Pioneers, we always need to understand that we do feel that energy exchange, and we do feel when it's time to move on. And it's time to listen to that inner guidance about telling us it's time to move on. Also, another way that is very important is for us to become more discerning, as I said. See everything more objectively as a neutral observer, not be attached, to any sort of outcome through your feelings, or because feelings as in emotions, not feeling, that inner knowing, they usually represent how we used to deal with something in the past. So we want to draw from that root of the pattern and we bring it here in the now, but it doesn't work that way anymore in the new. We only work through our inner feeling. And that discernment is not the same as judgment. And this is all also very beautifully written in the article, and I will do share that link in my content box. So do think about all those things, and do know that all the areas are important because all is whole. And if you leave the 3D paradigm behind, that means you have to, in a way, it comes naturally to you. You don't need to, it just comes. I'll explain how it was for me. I became very different, also as a person, not just, my being is eternal anyway, but my persona changed a lot because I have left not just a lot of the people in my life who no longer resonated, who are not on the same path, who are still in the egoic mind, but I also left the things that maybe I was interested in before, but not anymore. We are changing so much, and for me, my only devotion, the only happiness that is me, is coming from the purpose that I am, and that means how I give, how I am of service, and my mountains, and that freedom that I am, and we are all free, sovereign beings. So that freedom is all that has any meaning to me in my life. Nothing else has any meaning to me, and this is where I saw that I'm like living in this world, but I'm not a part of it. It's a tough feeling sometimes because you do feel alone. But when you connect to your light family, you feel again, oh, I'm not alone. I'm not the only one feeling this way. It's like they were speaking, a lot of the people were speaking about separation of worlds. That doesn't mean physical worlds, but our consciousness is separating from what was familiar to us and how 3D life was up until now. And with us shifting from that, we are energetically changing that through consciousness, through collective intent. So the thing is that for me, when I used to buy clothes before, then all of a sudden, if I look at things that are physical, that are material, I just look at them and they have no meaning for me. They're like physical things created by men they're not organic in nature, and they mean nothing to me. I don't even buy things anymore. I don't go to stores. Only when I have to buy my foods or something like that. And the only desire I have is to go to my mountains, to be in those vortex energy power places that are so beautiful and in nature, and grounding myself in that nature. And this is also part of, moving beyond the 3D and going higher into our true authentic self essence. So for me, all that I do need, we're still living in the 3D world, of course. We still need to pay for our bills and things like that. But it changes a lot in what you think is important for you to function here as a physical being. You need a lot less. You also need a lot less food, for instance. I'm not attracted to, kind of food that people en masse would consider, for instance, their holidays and they're just keep eating and eating. Well, that doesn't have any meaning for me. I'm here to experience beautiful spirit manifested here in the physical, not to be attached to pleasures of the physical. My only pleasures is reconnecting with the beauty of creation. That is my only pleasure, and to be of service to that creation and all of you. So this is how I shifted, and I have very rare people in the physical here. Sometimes you might feel alone, but that is not loneliness. That state of being alone is not the same as 3D kind of feeling that people know as being lonely and clingy, and attached. No, it's not a state of depression. It is exact opposite. It is about being alone, but knowing that it is all about you and your path, and feeling that sacred connection to a source, all that is permeating through every single thing that is of organic creation. And that's why the material things don't matter anything to you, because they have a deadline of existence. They will fade away. They will come and go. But the connection with all that is never goes. It just changes in nature, how we are changing also. And this is how we are shifting. It is very necessary for us. And when we notice that, those changes, not to fear those changes, but know that sometimes they might first cause us to feel a bit more separate and alone. But when we deeper connect and ground that, our new authentic self, we will know that we're not being further from our truth or isolated. We're moving further into it, we're moving more into our core. And the more that we will spend that time with ourselves, give a lot of energy to being with ourselves, to meditate, to transmit those energies within all that is, the more we will understand that we are not drifting further away from it. It's not a separation and the anxiety that comes with any certain separation, because this is of 3D paradigm, but we are removing our core from that 3D. Where also part of us is here, but our consciousness is above it. And sometimes, as I say, it takes time to get acquainted with that feeling, but through your own devotion to self, to give yourself that time. Because if you think that you don't have enough time, time will become your manipulative tool. Time will have the ability to control you, because you will fear it. But if you shift your perception into knowing that you define your own time, you define where you place your energy, then nothing at all can ever manipulate you. Nor time, nor people, nothing. So this is how it is for me. And I just the only desire that I have is to go to the mountains and do my work of service. That's all that I desire. So your desires might become more apparent to you as well during this shift. What you wish to more anchor in your tangible form now in this new paradigm, whether it's in your relationship, what you do, how you do that service. Moving, some people also, I did share that message, this week about moving, and some people might relocate a lot, but whatever your heart says. So do listen to your heart. Do know that you're not alone in this removement from the 3D paradigm. We are leaving old ways behind, and someone has to do it first. There's always like that, remember if you ever played a certain game or something like that, well, someone always had to be the first and someone was the last. And if you think of the true spiritual truth as in spiral, no one is actually first or last. This is just how it appears to be here in the physical material world. So namaste, my beloved family of light. I hope this brought some realizations into your being, and may we further grow, evolve, and expand as always. Take care. Much love.